Welcome to Project Ozone 2, Kappa Mode, Episode 10. Well, I spent far too long on this project, but I needed it. $500 endstone. Not bad, not bad. And then we got this guy here configured to move in 50 millibuckets of resident ender over. The other thing was pearls. We're fully maxed out now, which is sweet. And therein lies the catch-22. So I needed pearls. So I figure I'm going to set up a farm. So I'm going to use this planter here, jam it full of lily seeds, and then I got a harvester. So I thought long and hard about building this farm here, especially at the size that I'm building it. What is it here? It's a upgrade quartz tier. Because I'm thinking this is going to be laggy, right? And I might not even need this thing, you know, by the end of all this, if I can just cast pearls with that tinker setup. This is just temporary because I don't feel like doing this part myself. I haven't really shown much of my whole seed situation here now, but basically this whole chest is full of 10, 10, 10s. Everything's 10'd, except for platinum, silver, and nether, these items down here. And the main bottleneck is still ores, because I got a bunch of copper ore below to grow those copper seeds. And as you can see here, I got into all my carrots, which are kind of cool. You see all the ore types down there. The nether carrot doesn't seem to exist. We got saturation, night vision, water breathing, resistance, strength. Okay, so the diamond carrot looks pretty sweet. Speed, regeneration is the emerald carrot. And isn't it like a mega carrot? What's this one? Whether effect while having it in your inventory. Oh wow, so you just carry it. Interesting. How do I make this? I can't. The recipe looks broken. I'm actually a little shocked at how difficult it is to get. Oh, it doesn't even tell me there. Compressed. The portal to the deep dark is what I was thinking of. Must be. So you need like at least 10 stacks, I think, to make the portal to the deep dark, and I got 1. And it's going pretty quick, right? I've never made this cobblestone framework before from EnderIO add-ons, but it's pretty cool. You can slap in different types of EnderIO blocks, like an alloy smelter, a crusher, a sag mill. So I got it doing triple compressed, and then from there, the storage drawers handle the rest. I'm shocked at how slow it is. I cannot wait until the Christmas season is over. Talk about a tangent. So of course I had to move my magnum torch. Where was I going with that conversation? Oh, I was going to put my torch down here. Like, why not just stick your magnum torch in the center of the base, the igloo, that I've left standing and haven't modified at all, except for the odd block here and there. But check this out. This is weird. Erebus, block of bones. I thought that maybe there was going to be treasure. Oh, there's a lamp. So here's an interesting thought. We got these blue clouds and these purple clouds. Alright, I got the beginnings here of something I like a little bit more. My spawner down below here. Then use the clouds to bring them up. And somehow funnel them downwards onto the spike. And then that leaves them at a half heart. So I could come here and cleave them. Then we got the half slabs to stop the baby zombies from getting out and attacking me. Okay, let's try that again. If the zombies are getting pushed... Whoop. So they're going to catch a little bit of hang time. We got the magnet out. We'll vein mine it, hopefully. 43. Wow. Really? Yeah, I didn't think this through. I can't really land on anything. But if I hold shift, maybe. Okay. Call this the walk of shame. So if we force a spawn here with the zombie thingy and he drops here, he should get pushed there up. And I want to see how these clouds work. Do they need backing, or is it enough just for them to hit? And then he should fly into this glass and then drop down. Then maybe I want a bit of a taller wall there. Let's just see what happens. And he's gone. Oh. I wanted that helmet back. I am a little curious about the zone of exclusion. Like, if the spawner's right there, is that too close where it knows to not spawn more mobs? I want to say I got like 10 heads in the last 5-10 minutes. If it's going by, I can hold shift. It pauses it. Good. So I think that's okay. And then if we import that, the problem is that paintbrush. I think that will constantly cause me grief. Okay, let's see what happens. So this is what I was worried about. The paintbrush stays in there. So now if I ask for more redstone, can I ask for 10 of them? We're missing a paintbrush, okay. To take this off is not an input, but it's still programmed in there. Because that would be huge. Okay, that's promising. It accepted it. Wow. That is huge. Okay, now for the piece de la resistance. We are going to put in 4 capacitors. Going to put in a redstone. And then 4 of these conductive thingies. But the idea is once I have this now, I put that there, it now should know how to make a capacitor. Let's request another basic because we need another basic. We're actually going to need more because I want to configure this vibrant one too. The whole reason I'm doing this is because I need this for my zombie head skull crushing farm. I want to have that extra juice. So here's the ingredients. That's cool. Now can we click on here? Can we shift click? Okay, that was not invented back in the day, but that's fine. I'm happy that this redstone thing auto-crafted. Now I think the smart thing to do for me, just so I don't mess up my system, is interesting. It's not waiting for those to return. It's not like applied energistics. It's just assuming they're going to come right back. That's actually huge. That means I don't have this weird unfilled recipe going on. Oh, you know what? I am making mistakes. So just because this system, oddly enough, doesn't know, it's looking at these, I guess, as crafting tasks. It doesn't know about all the nonsense going on this in here. Oof. Oh, there's 2 pages to it, of course. So I would love it if I could clear that. Okay, that really sucks. You can't just break it to clear it. So this is the catch here. I made that first batch. The system is now waiting for the 2 basics to come back, plus the final capacitor. So it took them and then it immediately gave them back. So you know what, because there's no delay, that's not the end of the world. So now if we do this, this, and this with this. So as soon as you get something, you have to throw it back, otherwise it causes you problems. It's not my favorite, but whatever. Did I ask for this stuff here, or is it my bag? Okay. I see. Just to double check. Everything's happy. That's good. And I can't even count. I already had a capacitor. That's funny. I'm not too terribly heartbroken because I don't think, even if I had applied energistics 2, I don't think... Yeah, I just searched extended crafting. So I gotta handle the drops better. But for right now, I'm pretty excited about this. I like what I got going on. As far as I can tell, the only way to get zombie heads is the Cleaver from Tinker's. So I would say this is a huge upgrade from the previous farm that I had here. I tore it down. This is now a nice little cube. So what's really cool is that powered spawner there, that was perfect timing, spawned 6 zombies. I've got it upgraded with an octic capacitor, the highest tier one from EnderIO. And these little clouds from the Aether are really cool. They push stuff, and then the blue ones go vertical, and then they bounce, and then they bounce into here. And then just to make it look kind of neat, I did it symmetrical. Same thing, right? I got a little bit of redstone control down there we'll talk about in a second. But from MineFactory Reloaded, I got this cool counter. So there's a RedNet cable that's also from MineFactory Reloaded. It's basically getting the redstone signal from the mob counter, and I'm doing a check. If it's greater than 12 zombies, I want it to disable. So what's going on right now is, probably hard to see, but there's a red lamp back there. It's actually disabled down here, and I can actually see that lamp. I haven't added any conduit binders or whatever you call it to hide this. We go down here, we'll see that we've got no redstone signal, so this spawner is actually disabled because we have too many zombies. And if I was to kill a few, we'll see that light's back on. It's kind of hard to see, but we can see that light down there is on. And what's really cool is it has a historian. So right now, this is an analog signal, you know, trending over time, the redstone. So we're at max level right now. We're at like 15. It maybe just dropped down by 1. Nothing's going to spawn. The lights are off till I kill these things. And the whole idea is I don't want too many zombies, you know, spawning, right? Or a bunch of entities and stuff. But I thought this historian thing was pretty cool. And what's really weird about it is a lot of these RedNet cables, if you can tell, the colors are set here. On the historian, you can't set it. It took me a while to figure out, but the default is always white. But if you know what analog signal you want to look at, and I want to look at blue, because that's my mob count, I right click on it, and then it's really too bad it doesn't render the proper color. But that's kind of a want, not a need, as they say. It's crazy how loud this is, even though I have a muffler hidden down below there. So the way this works is blue is kind of like my run. Right now we're off, so the farm won't run. And there's actually two things. This is a manual override, so if I have this off, the farm is off. Or this mob counter. If there's more than 12 mobs or entities in this area, you can actually see the area by taking the precision hammer, and it glows rather green. And then you see another bounding box, which is the slaughter factory. It also is doing a 5x5. And you can't upgrade these ones at all. They are a 5x5 and that is it. So they kind of intersect this one spot in the middle here. So that guy's set to blue. We got this input set to blue. And when you go into the RedNet controller here, I don't know how rough that edit's going to be, but I'm trying it again. For the RedNet controller, we're on page 1. So the input on the right, which is my mob counter, looking at the blue, if it's got less than 12, it says you're good to run. So what it does is, for less than 12 mobs, set this variable to 1, set it to true or on, whatever you want, whatever you want to call it. So that's the first condition. But there's a page 2 here, which is my second condition. It's the input on the left that's blue, which is this lever. So what that's going to do is it's going to set an output on the right to orange. So taking a step back, because I don't know how well I'm explaining this. If the variable from the mob counter that I set on the previous page is true, and this lever is true, then output the run. So if my lever is good and my mob counter is good, output orange. And if we go here, we see output orange on the right controls the lamp to let me know the farm is running. And it also goes to this redstone transmitter on channel 3, I think it was. So here's the receiver on channel 3. Redstone hits this conduit, and then it goes up and turns that powered spawner on. Then also gives me a visual indicator here, just for, you know, troubleshooting, right? And I don't think I've talked about this yet, but basically I've got a little bit of a surge tank of nutrient distillation, got a lot of power here, and then I got a big old battery here that's slowly charging. And the whole idea is this powered spawner uses a lot of power, so when I'm in here collecting heads, it should be able to spawn me a lot of stuff really quickly. Not super quick, but way better than my first design from a few episodes ago. There's a third page that, if the input on the left is magenta, oh, how do I say this? I think I'm inverting the logic. I'm using a non-and. Basically, if this thing is on, then this slaughter factory is actually on and it's working. And if I turn this lever off for the slaughter factory, it's pink to indicate, I guess, blood or slaughter fluid. Pink slime, that's what it is. It's got a redstone signal, so it's disabled. So when this guy's off, slaughter is disabled, so it allows me to collect heads. And I just did that for fun, because I don't really think I have a use for that stuff yet. And what's going on in here is it's kind of inverting the logic, because I wanted the gate to be... I'm having a real hard time explaining this. If the lever is on, it's actually going to disable the slaughter factory. So by not anding it with a constant of 1, it kind of flips it or inverts it, however you want to say. It's one of those cases where I know what I want to do, but I can't explain it. I kind of wrote up this cool little sign from Bibliocraft. It inserts a weird little thing, and then if you type in like 6 for gold, or rather 4 for dark red, you can type in hi, which I thought was pretty cool. What I've done here is page 1 of that little PLC. If the input on the right is less than a constant of 12, then variable 1 equals 1 or true. And then the second program is if this variable 1 that I set up here and my lever on the left is 1, then spawn zombies. So they both got to be satisfied. The variable for the mob count and the manual override have to be in a good state. In the third program, if the input lever on the left and, oh, this is a weird one. This is a not and. I don't even know if that's proper logic, but it's not anded with a constant of 1. You run the slaughterer. I'm sure I butchered that, but I tried. So we turn this guy back on. That's the other thing too. These Aether clouds, these purple things that go sideways and the blue that go up, they move mobs so quickly. It's kind of insane. I love that. Even the noise is kind of cool. So we're running. I want to turn the slaughterer on. We can see it's working. And as soon as the work gets down, it's going to start killing them. And then we can see the little historian there. That's kind of the coolest thing, I think. I think when I started this little project today, I was at like 10 zombie heads. And the main reason I need them is the Z logic and the zombie electrode. Because if we right click on here, we need it for the thermal, the top tier thermal. More zombie juice. I'll be making tons of these. These are awesome for power, especially now that I have those fluid cows. Loot recycler framework. Oh, I heard about this. I was supposed to look this up, but I never did. I really need to look into this, because this thing could potentially solve the issue I was just talking about. Impulse. Oh, I didn't even know the impulse hopper existed back here, back in this version. This is such a cool mod. Ah, and then of course my farming. I need these intelligence modules for all the different little things they can do. Let's put it this way. It's not perfect, but it's a huge improvement to what it was.